and it is barely audible music or a terrible music choice. That is my number one. And so just to put that in context as far as the yoga goes, there's been so many classes that I've been to, and I've been almost, next to the speaker. It's been a meter away. And they have music on, but you're not quite sure what it is or if it should be there. And look, if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. I'm just saying, you got to do it right. If you're going to do music, for God's sake, please try harder.
I'm going to have a stab at the dark here, Chloe, and say that you are very passionate about music.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
But I get what you're saying there. So, like, in terms of... Actually, before I get into it, we explain it. I think, Tom, do you want to quickly explain the rank? Because we are going to rank your pet peeves here, Chloe. But do you want to explain the ranking system?
Would you know what? I'm going to change this completely, Bill.
You're going to change it again. You're going to change it every week.
I don't feel that our PC scale is appropriate.
No.
Jimmy's got to stay buried. I think we should be quite spiritual about this and make it the Feng Shui scale.
Right.
Yeah. So I think actually we should rate it as in 10 being really good, like that's really Feng Shui, and 1 being like, do you know what, this Feng Shui is a bit shit. This is Feng shit. It's not Feng Shui, it's Feng shit.
Feng shit. So we've got Feng shit at the bottom and Feng Shui at the top. Yeah, I get you. I mean, obviously, music taste is subjective, but I suppose when you're in the gym or you're doing any sort of physical stuff, there's obviously that type of music.
When it comes to yoga, though, would you say you do need like a specific type of genre or music or ambience, let's say?
Well, I think, yeah. I mean, most folks would tell you yes. I suppose most yoga teachers would tell you yes. It has to be a specific genre, or maybe like an hour of whale music. And I'm not saying that whale music doesn't have a place, but I just think you need to be a bit more creative than that. The thing I think about, because I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh yes. Fantastic.
You know the bit when Gandalf is pulled down the mine by the Balrog, and Frodo and everybody is fighting off these arrows as they escape the mine. You know what I think about that scene so often, and I think, imagine if that didn't have a soundtrack. It would
make and break it.
Completely. And there's a whole
industry. Very emotional music, wasn't it? Yeah. Completely.
And I think there's a whole industry, isn't it, dedicated to soundtracks. And I just think with yoga, because it needs to be an experience, you've got an hour to take someone from frazzled and like mentally just overwhelmed to a place of feeling better. You've got an hour, maybe an hour and a half to do that. Why would you not just utilize music? Why would you not?
Yeah, so I think 3 as well.
Is your Feng Shui off?
It is off. It's a big part, I think. I'm actually really surprised
change
we've managed to...
Should we completely ruin the episode and change it? We could do the false. Is there a Lord of the Rings equivalent? So, Chloe, you mentioned the Lord of the Rings earlier. I can see Bill gripping his chair because he's a massive Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It didn't go down too well when I criticised The Hobbit, did it, Bill?
Well,
years ago.
It depends what you're talking about, though. If you're talking about the movie, The Hobbit, you've got to be joking. It's awful. It's awful.
Bill.
Sorry, I'm not a fan. Because I don't want to digress too much, but no.
It is cat shit.
Yeah, I'm not feeling The Hobbit. But the Lord of the Rings franchise, yes, go on. Martin Freeman can just...
I'll tell you what, Bill. Are you casting it into the... Oh, fuck, what's it called? Where you casting
Fires of Mount Doom.
Yeah, Fires, mate.
Yeah.
What's going to happen now is
Doom?
I'm going to edit that one snippet out of her saying it's awful, and I'm going to put it on YouTube and be like, worst guest on the podcast ever. No, I agree with you. It is obviously worse than Lord of the Rings. That's no question. I just don't think it was as bad. I think it was just the expectation was so good, and I think because they tried using so much of their own material, like they just made loads of shit up or like bulk stuff on, which wasn't in that area. They like whenever you go off the source material, look at Game of Thrones for example. When they go off the source material, it just absolutely goes downhill.
It's the most passionate I've seen you in ages.
I know, yeah.
So Bill, right, get back on track, you.
I'm sorry.
Is music going into the fiery pits of Mount Doom, or is it going into Bilbo Baggins' nice little shire house and just having a cup of Hobbit tea or whatever it is they drink?
Awesome, yeah. I mean, things. It's a bit. Some people think it's a bit like spiritual, but things happen for a reason, and that sounds like a lot of things that have kind of just happened in a way, and it's obviously it's fallen the right way.
But sometimes it is ironic how certain things just happen. I'm a man of science, but at the end of the day, there are eerie things where it's just like, it's almost like it is just kind of meant to be, These things do happen sometimes. It is what it is.
10 years' time, Tom, we might all be doing yoga and you'll be able to deadlift more than 60 kilos.
Right. I'll tell you what, mate. I'm getting sick of this shit.
I don't put that there.
We'll see who's laughing when I'm actually able to go down the stairs like The Exorcist.
That'll be our challenge at next year, so who can be the most flexible.
I'll come for you in the night.
That looked very... I mean, I'd probably fall at the first hurdle, even trying to get on my hands. I'd just lose... I'd probably snap my wrists, face into the mat.
This is the thing though, isn't it? I couldn't lift 60 kilos, Tom, so don't feel bad.
Yeah. Do you know what? We have to nip this in the bud. This is an inside joke. I can lift more than 60 kilos. I don't know where this came from, Bill, you shit. Even my mum the other day said to me, so what's this about you only lifting 60 kilos? And I'm like, cheers, mum. She's like, you're a disappointment to the family. And I was like, yeah, cheers, mum.
Right, I'll move on to my second secret actual question now, Chloe. And basically what I know is if I was to pay for Tom to get a year's sort of yoga tuition by yourself, do we reckon we could get maybe 5-10 kilos on his deadlift? Do you reckon that's possible, or do you reckon he's too far gone now? Tom's just got the podcast.
Yoga on, yeah.
Hendrix, Lord of the Rings marathon. We'll miss out a Hobbit, and straight into yoga.
I like
I'm
it.
up for that.